Hello there. Welcome to our Culture with the Word. Today, I want to talk a little bit about food and culture. Have you ever heard someone say that food is a good way to get to know a culture? I heard that recently from a Guatemalan chef. And what do you think? Do you think that we can learn more about a country's culture through its food? Well, today I'm sharing with you some dishes, some of the very popular dishes in my country, Guyana. And as we watch the video, and let's have a conversation in the comment section about what these foods say about Guyanese culture. I have some notes here, but but my glasses are giving this blue reflection, so I'm trying, to do without them. I don't want to distract you too much with the glasses, but every now and again I may have to put them on if I need to refer to my notes. So just bear with me. So, Guyana is home to nine indigenous peoples. These are our first people. And I'm talking about groups like the Arawak, Carib, Waiwai, Akawayo, Arakuna, Patamona, Wapishiana, Makushi, and Warao. And a dish that is unique to Guyana and that we got from our first peoples is pepper pot. What is pepper pot? Pepper pot is a rich stew made traditionally with beef or fish and cooked with kasrip. Now, and kasrip and also with spices like cinnamon, clove, and other spices. Now, kasrip is the boiled down juice of bitter cassava root. And there is no pepper pot without kasrip. That is the essential ingredient to pepper pot. So cassava bread is what the indigenous peoples traditionally ate their pepper pot with. At least that's what we have learned. However, with the creolization of the dish and its passage to the rest of the population, most people today eat pepper pot. Most Guyanese today eat pepper pot with bread, with fresh homemade bread. Um, and it's we like to have it for breakfast, or some people also eat it at lunchtime with rice. Guyanese pepper pot is truly our national dish, and Guyanese of all ethnicities and all races enjoy it. Now, European colonizers in the form of the Dutch, the French, and the British laid claim to different areas in the territory that we now know as Guyana. The British were the last and most enduring colonial colonizing power, and they unified the counties of Demerara, Berbice, and Essequibo into what was called British Guyana. With our independence in 1966, we became known and we're still known as Guyana. Now, two of the most popular dishes that we inherited from the British are black cake and ginger beer is a drink. So the British introduced their Christmas pudding, what they call Christmas pudding, to their colonies. And so was born our black cake. And if you in the English-speaking Caribbean, in Barbados, Jamaica, they have Trinidad, they all have a version of black cake. What is black cake? It's a rich fruit cake. Think of 3 pounds of dried fruit to every pound of butter. And so that's to tell how rich it is. And the dark color comes from burnt brown sugar, um, also called caramel. And wine and rum are added to the mixture and also poured on top of the finished product. So you can tell how rich our black cake is. Now, ginger beer is not an alcoholic drink. It's ground ginger and it's fermented. Some people add, with sugar, and some people even add a little bit of rice to speed up the fermentation process. Um, I I have not made it in ages, but I love ginger beer. And sometimes I just buy the store, the ones that you get in the store. But it's nice, gingery, sweet. Think about sweet and hot. Hot meaning from the ginger. Um, And that pairs very well with black cake. So those are two things we got from the British. Now, enslaved Africans were forcibly transported to the region to work on the colonial plantations. So from these, Guyanese cuisine has been enriched with foods like cook-up rice, um, metemg, or some say metaji or metemg, however you want to pronounce it, fufu, and kanki. Each of these dishes has its roots in the African continent and in one form or the other. Of course, with movement and being in different places and creolization, there have been some changes, but they all have their roots in the continent of Africa. Now, with the abolition of slavery, the British now needed um, a reliable labor force because most of the people of African descent, many of them moved off of the plantations. Um, so they tried first by bringing in Chinese as a labor force. And from the Chinese, we have things like fried rice and chow mein, and we have our Chinese, what we call Chinese cake. It's a version of what the Chinese call their black bean cake. Um, and any now Guyanese, we have a thing we say that Guyanese fried rice is the best fried rice. So I don't know. You would have to try it for yourself and tell us. When Chinese indentureship did not prove successful, the British brought in laborers from the Portuguese island of Madeira. And from these, we have garlic pork, salt fish, which is dried, salted, originally cod, but we use all kinds of different fish. Um, so so like I said, garlic pork, saltfish, saltfish cakes, and so those are the things we got from the Portuguese slash Madeira heritage. Now, the garlic pork is really, it's kind of like a pickled pork, and then I have an image there with the preparation, and then you cook it. You either leave it, fry it in its own fat, or some people put it in the oven to cook, and that is also people like to have that with their bread for breakfast. Um, and then I mentioned like the saltfish that we would put with different kinds of foods to eat, or the saltfish cakes that would accompany some dishes that we have. So yes, so that's what we got from the Portuguese Madeiran heritage. Guyanese cuisine was further enriched when the British introduced East Indians, mainly from the northern regions of India, as indentured laborers. And this period was between 1838 and to 1917. Now think about roti, um, what we call, what many call paratha, we call roti in Guyana, dal puri, right? That's the one with the split peas inside. Think the curries, um, dal. Those are just a few of the tasty dishes that we have inherited from the Indian presence in Guyana. And so there you have it. As you think of pepper pot, cassava bread, cook-up rice, fufu, chow mein, garlic pork, curry, roti dal, what do these foods tell you about Guyanese culture? So what do you think? Was the Guatemalan chef that I quoted at the beginning, was he correct when he said that food is a good way to know about a culture? Now, oh, and by the way, there you see, that's our coat of arms, the Guyana's coat of arms. And notice at the bottom, the words at the bottom are our national motto. It's one people, one nation, one destiny. One people, one nation, one destiny. So, what do you think when you see the variety of foods that make up a part of Guyanese cuisine? In Guyana, we cook and we enjoy all these foods. So tell me about your country. First of all, tell me what you think about what these foods tell you about Guyana and Guyanese culture. And then tell me about your country. What do your dishes say about your culture? Share with us in the comments. And thank you so much for watching Our Culture to the World. Continue to watch the program, to share the videos, to like, to comment, and to subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. What are you waiting for? Look forward to seeing you and chatting with you next time. Bye now.